You're now watching a clip from the Inspired by show. You can watch the full episode on our YouTube channel or listen on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. So make sure to head over there, leave us a 5-star rating if you enjoyed it, and follow the show.
So business is a massive part of who I am. I think I've always been like really focused on that. So I've struggled in the past of having a good work-life balance. But then now I've really got a good one, and I've realised that the work is just one part of my life, and the other part is really about my friends, my family, and the things that I love doing. So, funny enough, I went to like a speaking slot yesterday morning, and it was about it was called mental wealth rather than mental health, which I thought was quite an interesting one. And he was saying that you have to find things that make you really happy and bring out the best in you. You don't have to sit on the top of a mountain singing Kumbaya or meditate, especially if you can't cross your legs and all that. It was a good talk, but you have to do activities that make you feel really good. So my sort of hobbies, if you like, that I have still continued to do whilst growing a business have been like theatre. So I will be performing musicals, singing, dancing, acting, and I love going to see shows at theatre. Probably once every couple of weeks I'm at a theatre watching something. So that sort of part of my personality I've never let dwindle. Yeah, at times when I've been really pushing, working stupid long hours, I did one year make a choice not to do a show because the business just needed a little bit more of me at that point. I was like, I need to just be present. But apart from that, I was like, I need to keep that. That's me. That's my little bit of it's my safe haven, if you like. It's the thing that I know and love. And it's ironic, really, because when I was on that stage doing that speaking slot, I was absolutely petrified. Yet I'll stand on a stage in front of 1,000 people and sing. But it comes back to your previous question, because I'm playing a part. I'm being a character. It's scripted for me. I just have to say the right lines and sing the right words and move in the right direction. It's not like I'm there very much naked as Emma, not naked, but naked, like just stripped back. I'm just Emma. This is who I am. And it's a very different sort of thing. So I think the only thing that's probably changed in terms of who I am over the last few years since having Flamingo is I don't think I put up with as much rubbish as I had done previously in terms of relationships, in terms of like negative people around me, mood hoovers. Like I've definitely changed my circles, and I invest time and effort into the right people, and I give them all of my love and attention, and I get it back, and I'm really lucky in that sense. But I've just cut out a lot of noise and just focused on what actually makes me happy. And running the business is one part of it, but everything else, my friends, family, my hobbies, that's the other part of who I am.
Do you know what? I find it fascinating how different people are, because, you talked about performing, and I really want to touch on that because I think a lot of people can relate to this, but everyone's different, right? So I used to sing when I was growing up, and I wanted to be a singer. And when I was 10 years old, I was playing the lead in a play, and I panicked and I froze and I forgot all the words. And ever since then, I've never been able to get on stage to do anything scripted. Like if you give me a teleprompter, and sometimes when I run shows at stuff like this, people say, you need a teleprompter. I'm like, the minute I'm told what to say, I will freeze. And I would rather speak just with nothing to say in a microphone and wing it, if you will, in front of thousands, than if you give me a script, I will panic. Because to me, that means that I have the opportunity to get it wrong. Like I can't get it wrong if it's just me and a mic and no one knows what I'm going to say. Right? It's just crazy how like we can be like very similar. We are actually quite similar as individuals, but like how different people can have fears around different things.
I think the trigger, like you said, that sort of play when you were 10, it's true. I mean, I had one, I don't know how old, probably early teens, maybe a little bit younger. Me and my sister, she can sing as well. We were on a stage at karaoke, or not karaoke, like a talent show at the caravan. We used to have a caravan in the Cotswolds when we were growing up, and we were singing Puppy Love, and I just completely froze, didn't know the words, and then said something down the mic to her. I've forgotten the words, and she swore, I'd never sing with you again. And I think you could have that fear and you can hang on to it. And we then didn't do anything theatrical for a long time. We would sing in the talent shows. Mum and dad always used to, go and have a go on the karaoke so we can hear you and all of that. So we did a bit, but I never did anything until I came back from uni, and I wanted a hobby and I wanted some friends. I'd been up in Leeds, and I needed some people in my circle when I was back in Warwick, and I was like, I need to have something. So went and auditioned for Annie, the musical in Leamington, and got a part in that. And then just year after year, show after show, I eventually got into some lead roles, which was brilliant. Played Sister Mary Patrick in Sister Act, the fat, loud one, which was perfect because for the week leading up show week, I ate everything I wanted to do. I wasn't worried about the fact I had to shrink down into these tiny little costumes that they give you or the night before. In fact, I had to make a fat suit, which was great fun as well. But the sad part about that was when I got up to the bar afterwards and people were coming up to me saying, "That was a brilliant show. Did you enjoy it?" And I'm thinking, I was in it. I was quite important. But they didn't recognise me because I was no longer like 25 stone in a fat suit because I'd sort of stripped it off before I went to the bar. But I think, the performance side, the triggers and the fears and overcoming them and stuff, like I get it. And I've always been like the opposite to you in that sense. I would rather have a script. I mean, coming on this and not really having any idea what we were going to talk about gave me a bit of anxiety because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to say. But the other day I did a recording. It was 21 marketing questions answered and I didn't script it because I didn't have time. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to write down 21 questions that business owners asked me about marketing. And I had my little piece of paper and I had the camera and I just spoke to it and I answered every single question. And it was the best thing I filmed. And I've got in my own way because I've wanted everything to be perfect. I've done my first webinar this year. We're nearly 5 years in business and I've just done one webinar. We do webinars for our clients all the time. And I'll go on as a host, but just you get in your own way, I think, and you let the fear hold you back. So meeting you was a bit of a blessing, really, because you've not let me hide. You've literally like, right, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're coming on a podcast, we're writing an article, you're entering an award. And it was brilliant because I had no choice but to then have to tell my story and talk about everything openly, which you mentioned earlier that sometimes people are worried about looking arrogant and egotistical, which is why I think I've hidden behind Flamingo, because I'm really proud of what that's achieved and who we're helping, and we've got amazing clients and stories and it's brilliant. But now I'm having to push Emma out there. I'm like, I haven't got something to hide, but you just have to do it. And like I said, if I'd have thought about this longer, I wouldn't be sitting in this chair. But I'm glad I've come because now it's actually not as bad as you think. And you told me it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
When we were sitting eating KFC before we came here.
Exactly.
But, I'm glad that I did it. So thanks for the push.